The galaxy had never seen anything like it. Rumors had spread quietly at first, whispers in the dark corridors of starports and diplomatic stations. A ship of unimaginable size, a human Titan-class warship, was said to be coming. Many ignored it, calling it a myth or propaganda. They said humans were too few, too weak, too unprepared to build such a thing. The stories painted a picture of a vessel so massive that entire fleets would look like tiny specks beside it. The name of the ship, Horizon, was known only to a few, yet those who heard it could not shake the feeling of awe and fear. On Earth, far from the councils and fleets of the galaxy, the people who mattered most were already preparing. Captain Daniel Ross stood in the command center of a small but capable human fleet, staring at the sealed orders that had arrived in the early hours of the day. The envelope was simple, no decorations, no insignia beyond the standard Earth fleet markings. He opened it carefully, reading the single line that would change history: "Deploy the Horizon." He read it twice, making sure he had not misread the words, yet there was no mistake. He folded the order and looked around at his crew. Each face reflected a different emotion. Lieutenant Claire Monroe, standing with her hands behind her back, had an intensity in her eyes that spoke of intelligence and focus. Commander Jason Brooks leaned casually against the wall, his calm demeanor almost unnerving in the tense silence. They had trained for scenarios that were complex and dangerous, but nothing like this. The Horizon was unlike any other ship. Its schematics were top secret, almost every detail obscured even from the crew themselves. It had engines that could fold space in ways considered impossible. Its weapon systems were a combination of energy, kinetic, and something far more advanced than any alien technology. Captain Ross finally broke the silence. "Prepare the crew," he said, his voice steady. "We leave in 30 hours. The room buzzed with sudden motion as crew members dispersed to their stations. Training simulations were checked, supplies confirmed, and small personal moments taken as humans tried to calm the tension that had settled over the fleet. Claire Monroe approached Ross quietly. "Sir, do you think they will believe it?" she asked. Ross shook his head slowly. "No one believes humans until they see the truth, and when they see it, they will fear us." Across the galaxy, the council chambers were already abuzz with activity. Alien delegates from dozens of species were arguing loudly. The Zorath, one of the oldest empires, scoffed at the idea of humanity building anything of significance. Their emissary, a tall figure with blue-gray skin and multiple eyes, sneered. Humans, a species barely a century into space travel, claiming a Titan-class vessel. Preposterous. Ambassador Lena Ward, the human representative, stood at the edge of the chamber. She did not speak yet, only observed. Her calm demeanor contrasted with the fury and mockery around her. She knew the council underestimated humans, as they always did. That underestimation was their greatest weakness. Back on Earth, the Horizon was ready. Its hull gleamed with alloys that refracted light strangely, giving it an almost living appearance. Its engines hummed softly, a sound felt more than heard, vibrating through the decks with a promise of immense power. Captain Ross walked along the corridors, observing his crew. Each member carried the weight of what was to come, yet there was no fear in their eyes, only determination. Claire Monroe and Jason Brooks were already discussing strategy. "If they attack us," Claire said, "we can hold them off long enough to make them realize they misjudged us." "I know," Jason replied, "but I want them to feel the weight of our presence before we even fight. Let them understand that humans are not to be ignored." The day of departure arrived. The fleet, though small compared to the empires of the galaxy, moved in perfect formation. The Horizon led them, massive and silent, cutting through the void like a predator. Communication channels buzzed with activity as messages from alien scouts began arriving, noting an enormous energy signature near the galactic borders. Back in the council chambers, the delegates received reports. The Zorath laughed at first, mocking the humans' claims, yet their laughter faltered as the size of the ship became clear. One report described energy readings that made starships feel fragile, fields of power that bent light and twisted space around them. Alien scientists tried to rationalize it, but every measurement only deepened their unease. On the bridge of the Horizon, Captain Ross looked out at the stars. "We are not here to fight," he said quietly, "but we will be ready for anything." Claire Monroe stood beside him. "Sir, I have never seen power like this in any simulation. Even the Council will not be able to ignore it." "Good," Ross said. "Let them wonder. Let them fear. That is the advantage we have." The journey to neutral space was long, giving the crew time to settle into routines, to train, and to understand the vessel that would carry humanity into the center of galactic attention. Every day they ran simulations, yet every day the truth of the horizon exceeded even the most advanced programs. It was not merely a ship. It was a statement, a warning encoded in metal and energy. Alien scouts began to notice disturbances in their regions. Ships sent to investigate vanished without trace, warped by fields they could not comprehend. Panic began to ripple among the older species, though none dared speak openly of it. The whispers grew louder. Humans were building something unprecedented, a weapon and a shield, a fleet and a fortress combined. Ambassador Lena Ward watched the council with quiet satisfaction. Every mockery and insult, every dismissal, only made their eventual revelation more devastating. On Horizon, Captain Ross and his officers planned their first contact carefully. They knew the council would not take humans seriously until the moment they could not ignore them. That moment was approaching. Sensors picked up the first alien fleets moving toward them. Curious, cautious, yet arrogant, Claire Monroe analyzed the readings. "They think they are coming to challenge us," she said. "But they do not understand the scale of what they face." "They never do," Ross replied. The crew moved into positions. Communication channels were secured. Every sensor, weapon, and engine was checked. The horizon did not tremble or falter. It simply waited, a shadow growing against the canvas of stars. When the first alien ships arrived, they sent messages of disdain, of mockery, trying to intimidate a species they believed fragile. Yet the human crew responded only with silence. Silence carried a weight the aliens had never encountered. In the council chambers, reports arrived in real time. Alien delegates froze as live readings confirmed the size and energy of the horizon. The Zorath tried to laugh, but the sound died in their throats. The rumors had not only been true, they had been understated. Captain Ross and his officers watched as alien ships formed a line, preparing for confrontation. "Do not engage unless we are fired upon," he said. The bridge was calm, almost serene, while outside thousands of kilometers of human engineering hummed with latent power. Claire Monroe checked targeting systems and shields. Every metric was optimal. Every system was prepared to respond instantly. Jason Brooks, standing at the rear of the bridge, folded his arms. "Let them come closer," he said. "Let them see who they are dealing with." Time seemed to stretch as the alien fleet approached. Every movement they made was calculated. Every signal sent was meant to probe weaknesses. Yet the horizon remained silent, its presence alone bending the nerves of those who observed it. Ambassador Ward prepared a message for the council. She knew the words would be ignored, dismissed or laughed at, but the moment of truth would soon arrive. They will see, she thought, and then they will understand. Hours passed. Every alert, every sensor ping only added to the tension. The humans moved in quiet confidence, while alien delegates whispered fears to one another. The scale of the horizon, the precision of its crew, and the unseen power it carried created a sense of unease that could not be explained. Finally, as the first alien vessel came within direct view of horizon, Captain Ross spoke to his crew. "Remember, we are not here to destroy unless necessary. Let them see the truth first." The alien ships hesitated. Their scanners could not penetrate the Titan-class hull. Their weapon systems misfired against shields that seemed invulnerable. Their pride faltered. On the horizon, crew members exchanged glances. They felt the anticipation, the thrill, the knowledge that history was about to be made. Ambassador Ward watched from afar, her expression calm, yet satisfaction burned quietly within. The moment of revelation was near. The galaxy would soon witness the arrival of humans not as insignificant newcomers, but as a force that could not be ignored. The horizon moved silently, confidently toward its first encounter, carrying with it not just a crew but the promise of a species that would leave its mark on the stars. The alien fleet shivered. Even they, who had ruled and conquered countless systems, felt an instinctive fear at the sheer presence of the human Titan-class warship. And so, with the first glimpse of horizon approaching, the galaxy held its breath, waiting for the story to unfold, unaware that this was only the beginning, and that humans were about to change everything they thought they knew about power, strategy, and the future of the stars. The council chambers were louder than ever. Alien voices filled every corner, shouting over each other in a chaotic mixture of anger, disbelief, and arrogance. The Zorath delegate slammed his clawed hand on the table, causing ripples in the hollow map of the galaxy. Humans? A single species claiming a Titan-class vessel? Laughable. He roared, his many eyes narrowing with irritation. The others joined in, mocking, jeering, and insulting humanity. They called the humans fragile, inexperienced, and unworthy of even a seat in the council. Ambassador Lena Ward stood quietly, observing every movement, every gesture. She could feel the contempt in the room, the arrogance that had fueled so many wars and so much pride. Yet she knew something they did not. Humans were never predictable, and they thrived in situations where others underestimated them. She straightened her posture and raised her voice just enough to be heard above the noise. You are blind to the truth if you think humans are weak. Underestimating us has always been a mistake. Her words were met with laughter, yet beneath that laughter, a subtle unease began to stir. The council members could sense something beyond their understanding, though they would not admit it openly. Across the galaxy, alien scouts transmitted reports in real time. They saw the massive energy signature of the horizon moving closer, the readings unlike anything in their archives. The ship's size, its shields, the engines that twisted space, everything defied comprehension. The aliens tried to rationalize it, to call it an error in their sensors, but no explanation fit. On the horizon, Captain Daniel Ross walked along the main corridor, observing the crew as they prepared for the first council contact. Lieutenant Claire Monroe checked weapon calibrations, though they would not fire unless provoked. Commander Jason Brooks reviewed navigation charts, plotting a course that kept them close enough for observation but far enough to avoid early confrontation. The crew moved with silent precision. They knew the eyes of the galaxy were upon them, and their actions would be remembered for centuries. Ross stopped and looked out through the massive observation window, seeing the stars streak past as the ship cut through space with unmatched speed. They will see us soon, he said quietly. Claire looked over her shoulder. Do you think they will believe it before they see us? He shook his head slowly. No. Humans have always relied on actions, not words. They will feel the truth when it is too late to ignore it. The first alien fleet reached the edge of neutral space, scanning and probing, confident that their numbers would intimidate the humans. The alien commanders communicated constantly, sending signals meant to test defenses, taunt, and provoke fear. Yet every attempt failed. The horizon did not respond with aggression. It simply held its course, a silent giant that radiated authority and power. In the council chambers, the delegates received streaming data from the sensors near neutral space. Alien scientists tried to interpret the numbers, but every analysis only raised more questions. The energy readings were immense, far beyond what any species had seen, and yet they were controlled, stable, precise. Some members began whispering to each other, their voices filled with doubt. Could humans really have built such a vessel? Ambassador Ward noticed the subtle change, the shift from open mockery to quiet concern. She allowed herself a small smile. It was working exactly as intended. The human presence alone was beginning to alter the balance of perception. Hours passed as alien fleets moved closer, curious yet cautious. The horizon remained a silent sentinel. The humans on board conducted drills, simulations, and system checks, their focus unwavering. Every crew member understood the stakes. This was more than a ship or a fleet. It was a statement to the entire galaxy, a challenge wrapped in restraint. The council chambers erupted in debate. Some delegates demanded immediate action, insisting that the humans be challenged before they reached neutral space. Others argued for patience, fearing the unknown and recognizing that aggression might trigger disaster. The room was divided, tempers flared, and accusations flew. Lena Ward listened calmly, aware that the confusion and fear served humanity's purpose. The first communication arrived from the alien fleet. The message was meant to be threatening, filled with arrogance and contempt. The Zorath commander demanded the humans identify themselves and submit to the authority of the council. Ambassador Ward relayed the message to Captain Ross. He read it, then turned to Claire Monroe. Prepare a response, he said. But do not fire. Let them learn respect before we ever raise weapons. Claire nodded, understanding the weight of his instruction. The Horizon's communication officer sent a calm, measured reply. Humanity seeks peace but will not kneel. Silence followed. The aliens had expected fear, or at least hesitation. Instead, they received steady certainty. The council chamber felt it too, though they had no way to express it openly. Tension built as the alien fleet inched closer. Sensors scanning, weapons charging, yet every system of the horizon was unshakable. Crew members moved through the corridors with precise efficiency. Maintenance bots hummed softly. Engineers checked energy flows, and tactical officers monitored every signal. No one panicked. The calm was deliberate, a psychological advantage over those who relied on numbers and intimidation. Hours turned into a day. Alien fleets continued to approach, their curiosity growing stronger than their confidence. Every report fed back to the council, where arguments grew louder, yet fear seeped into every conversation. Delegates whispered about humans' ability to manipulate space, their energy shields, their technology that seemed centuries ahead. The Zorath tried to maintain composure, but even they could not hide the tension in their movements. On the bridge of Horizon, Jason Brooks reviewed incoming data. "They are scanning us constantly," he said. "They expect us to react, but we do not." Captain Ross nodded. "That is correct. Our presence is enough. Let them feel the weight before any action." Claire Monroe added, "Some of their engines are overloading, trying to read our energy outputs. They do not understand the principles we use." Ross allowed a small smile. "They will learn eventually." Night fell on Earth, though aboard Horizon time was measured differently, based on speed and distance traveled. Crew members ate, trained, and rested in rotations, but the anticipation never faded. Each human knew that the next hours would be remembered forever. Ambassador Ward reviewed reports again. She had requested updates from spies and scouts throughout the galaxy, all confirming the same pattern. Aliens were anxious, uncertain, and increasingly respectful of the human presence. The effect was not instantaneous, but it was undeniable. Alien fleets that had once laughed were now hesitant. The council, full of centuries-old pride, could not hide its growing unease. Captain Ross called a meeting with his senior officers. They gathered in the strategy room, a large chamber with holographic displays of the galaxy and alien fleets. "We are close to our first real encounter," Ross said. "Remember, our goal is not to fight but to assert presence. Let them feel the strength of humanity before they question it." Claire Monroe traced the movement of alien fleets across the hologram. "They are approaching as expected. They are hesitant but confident in numbers. They believe quantity will overwhelm us." Jason Brooks shook his head. "They do not know our quality, nor do they know our resolve." The crew discussed scenarios, tactics, and contingencies, yet every plan included restraint and patience. Humanity's strength was not just technology, but composure, discipline, and strategy. The first alien ships arrived within visual range. Sensors revealed the details. Large, imposing vessels bristling with weaponry, colored hulls, and energy fields that shimmered in space. Humans on board Horizon felt the tension, yet their confidence remained unshaken. Captain Ross addressed the bridge. "Let them see us. Let them understand the difference between rumor and reality." Communication signals were exchanged. The aliens attempted intimidation, their voices harsh, their words meant to provoke. The humans replied calmly, each message precise, composed, and non-threatening, yet firm. The effect was immediate. Alien crews hesitated, some signaling to retreat, others sending urgent requests to the Council for instructions. The Council's monitors displayed real-time reactions. Delegates were shocked, their pride replaced with anxiety. Some muttered warnings about humans, realizing belatedly that they had dismissed a species capable of immense power. Horizon moved through the alien formation slowly, deliberately, projecting an aura of authority. Every sensor ping, every energy reading, reinforced the fact that humans were not to be underestimated. Crew members observed alien behavior, noting fear, hesitation, and confusion. This intelligence was as important as any weapon, as vital as any shield or engine. Hours passed with tension mounting. The alien fleets could not provoke a reaction, yet their presence was undeniable. They realized that humans were calm, coordinated, and powerful. Captain Ross spoke quietly to his officers. "They will remember this day. Let it be a lesson. Humanity does not kneel." Claire Monroe monitored energy fluctuations. "Their sensors are overloaded. They cannot read our shields properly. They do not understand our principles." Jason Brooks added, "Let them watch. Let them wait. Their uncertainty is our advantage." Ambassador Ward communicated back to the Council. She remained calm, her words calm. The first signs of alien activity reached the horizon, long before the fleets appeared visually. Sensors detected small probes, unarmed but relentless, moving through space in formations that suggested study rather than attack. Crew members on the bridge observed quietly, noting the patterns. Lieutenant Claire Monroe studied the data, pointing out subtle energy fluctuations that betrayed the aliens' nervousness. "They are cautious," she said. "They think they are in control, but they do not know what they face." Captain Daniel Ross nodded, his eyes scanning the stars ahead. "Let them approach," he said calmly. "They must see us in full before they understand the difference between rumor and reality." Outside, the horizon glided silently, its massive hull reflecting starlight in ways that seemed almost unnatural. The alloys of the ship created a shimmer, a faint ripple across the surface as if the ship itself were alive. Engineers had built it this way, not for beauty but for purpose. It confused sensors and disoriented approaching observers. In the alien fleets, commanders squinted at readings that made no sense. Ships that dwarfed their own in size moved with precision, appearing calm, unthreatened, yet radiating power that made entire squadrons hesitate. The first voice to break the silence was the Zorath commander. "It cannot be possible," he muttered. "No species should be able to build such a vessel." His lieutenants murmured agreement, though their uncertainty showed in every movement. Back on the horizon, crew members carried out final checks. Tactical systems were armed but not active. Defensive shields glowed faintly, a barely perceptible energy field that would shatter or deflect any attack. Captain Ross walked along the observation deck, looking at the approaching alien fleet. "They will try to provoke," he said softly. "Let them. They will not see the truth until it is too late." Claire Monroe leaned over the sensor console, tracking movements. "Their fleet is trying formations. They are testing us." Jason Brooks, standing beside her, shrugged. "Let them. Every misstep will teach them fear." The first alien ships came into visual range. Massive, jagged silhouettes with energy weapons mounted across their hulls. They advanced cautiously, attempting to project strength. Crew members held their breath, though the bridge was calm, almost eerily so. Ross gave no orders to fire. Instead, he allowed the aliens to see the full size of the horizon, its presence dominating the void. The silence from horizon was louder than any roar or attack. The alien fleet, expecting an immediate response, hesitated. They could not comprehend the immensity of the ship, the precision of its systems, nor the confidence of its crew. Commander Brooks monitored communications. "They are attempting intimidation," he said. "Threats, demands, commands. They want us to react," Ross smiled faintly. "Do not. Their fear grows with every second we hold still." Ambassador Lena Ward communicated with the Council, relaying every detail of the encounter. The chamber erupted in a mix of disbelief and panic. Delegates whispered frantically, unable to believe the reports. The Zorath stomped their claws, banging on consoles in frustration. "It cannot be," they shouted. "Humans are supposed to be weak." Ward's calm voice carried across the channels. "You are seeing what you refuse to believe. Underestimating humans has consequences." The alien fleet shifted, trying new formations, attempting to find weakness. Sensors indicated scanning pulses, attempts to map energy fields, shield strength, and power systems. Every measure they took failed. The horizon remained stable, unshaken, a monolith of human ingenuity. On the bridge, crew members worked silently. Engineers monitored energy flows, tactical officers tracked fleet movements, and pilots prepared in case immediate maneuvers became necessary. Yet no panic, no confusion, no hesitation showed. This composure unnerved the aliens further. Hours passed as the alien fleet tested every tactic, each probe, each formation, each attempt at psychological pressure. The horizon did not react except for minor course adjustments that demonstrated awareness without aggression. The aliens became increasingly cautious, their arrogance replaced by anxiety. Back at the Council, holographic displays showed live feeds of the encounter. Delegates gasped as they observed their fleets faltering under observation alone. Those who had mocked humanity now whispered among themselves, their voices tinged with fear. Lena Ward watched quietly, her plan unfolding perfectly. Humanity's presence alone was rewriting the expectations of the galaxy. Captain Ross addressed his officers. "They are learning quickly," he said. "Every moment we hold steady teaches them the cost of misjudgment." Claire Monroe analyzed incoming scans. "Their energy weapons are overcompensating. They cannot predict our shields. Every attack they plan is neutralized before it even starts." Jason Brooks added, They will be hesitant forever after this. Even if we leave, the memory of today will linger. The alien fleet finally paused. Their commanders convened on secure channels, arguing, questioning, and doubting their own data. Some suggested retreat, others suggested aggression, but none could agree. The presence of Horizon had created confusion unprecedented in the galaxy. Its sheer size, its power, and the calm, controlled crew gave humans a psychological edge unmatched by any weapon. Outside, Horizon moved slowly through the formation, allowing alien ships to come as close as they dared. The ship's immense presence distorted sensors, creating false images of its true scale. Aliens who tried to scan it found contradictory readings, energy flows that seemed to move against known physics, and fields that shifted with an intelligence that made them question their own instruments. On board, Captain Ross continued to observe. "They think they are reading us," he said quietly. "They cannot. They are blinded by fear and curiosity." Claire Monroe studied the readings. Even their leaders are uncertain. They are beginning to fear consequences for every action they take. Ambassador Ward communicated again with the Council. Her words were measured, calm, and precise. "Observe carefully," she said. "The humans are not here to provoke, yet they have already demonstrated control." Delegates whispered among themselves, unable to respond properly. Some realized belatedly that mocking humans had been a mistake. Some admitted quietly that they had no understanding of what humans were capable of. The alien fleet remained in orbit around neutral space, unable to advance or retreat fully. Their commanders tried to maintain composure, but the tension was palpable. On Horizon, crew members remained vigilant. Tactical officers tracked every probe and ship. Engineers monitored energy fluctuations, and pilots simulated scenarios in their heads, ready for any command. Captain Ross continued to project calm authority, knowing that the true weapon was not in firing but in presence, patience, and precision. Hours passed and alien ships tested new approaches, hoping to force a reaction. Horizon remained unmoving except for minor navigational adjustments. The aliens were learning too late that humans had mastered more than technology. They had mastered control, perception, and fear. Council chambers across the galaxy received continuous updates. Some delegates openly panicked. Others attempted to maintain composure, but the weight of evidence and observation was undeniable. Humans had arrived, and they were not what anyone had expected. Captain Ross walked along the observation deck, watching the alien fleet through massive windows. "They are nervous," he said to Claire Monroe. "Nervousness can become panic with the right guidance." Claire nodded. "Every probe, every scan, every approach they make reinforces their uncertainty." Jason Brooks added, "And they will remember this forever. Even if we leave today, the memory of Horizon will haunt their fleets." The first night in proximity to the alien formation passed. Humans rested in rotations, trained in simulations, and maintained vigilance. The bridge remained calm, yet the energy aboard was palpable. Every crew member understood that history was being written. The aliens continued their maneuvers, trying every tactic, every psychological ploy, every attempt at dominance. None succeeded. The Horizon's mere presence imposed discipline, fear, and respect. Ambassador Ward prepared a final communication to the Council before any engagement could occur. Her message was simple. Humanity does not seek conflict, yet it will not submit. The Council delegates received the message and could not hide their fear. Alien leaders whispered, some begging for explanations, others acknowledging in private that humanity's strength was beyond anything previously imagined. Captain Ross addressed his officers. "Tomorrow we will make our first maneuver that will leave no doubt in their minds. Until then, observe, learn, and maintain composure. Humans do not panic, and the galaxy will remember that." Claire Monroe checked shields and tactical reports one last time. "Everything is ready," she said quietly. Jason Brooks folded his arms. "They have no idea what is coming, and they will regret underestimating us." The alien fleet remained cautious, scanning endlessly, sending messages meant to intimidate, yet receiving only calm replies. Fear had begun to spread subtly, a psychological advantage humans had earned without firing a single shot. Hours later, Captain Ross walked to the observation deck and looked out at the stars. The horizon stretched infinitely, yet ahead was the alien fleet, massive, imposing, and trembling before the presence of humanity. "Soon," he said softly, "they will understand. Soon they will feel the weight of human resolve." And so, the first dawn in neutral space brought with it tension. that no human crew had ever felt before. Horizon drifted quietly, a massive shadow against the stars, its sensors constantly scanning the alien formations that loomed ahead. Captain Daniel Ross stood on the observation deck, hands behind his back, observing every movement of the approaching fleets. "They are nervous," he said softly to Claire Monroe, who was beside him, her eyes scanning the screens. "Nervousness can become chaos if given the right push." Claire nodded, her mind analyzing every energy fluctuation, every subtle signal that betrayed alien uncertainty. "They are trying new tactics," she said. "They do not understand our shields, our engines, or our intentions. Every approach they make fails to provoke us." Jason Brooks, standing at a tactical console, folded his arms. "It is working perfectly. They believe their weapons will intimidate, but they cannot even register our presence properly. Fear grows in them with every second we remain still." The alien fleet moved cautiously, forming patterns that suggested both offense and defense. Probes scanned from multiple angles, attempting to map Horizon's energy fields, yet every attempt failed. The humans had anticipated these strategies, creating layers of interference that distorted readings and created false signatures. On the bridge, engineers monitored the flow of energy, making adjustments that were almost imperceptible but vital. Every system was operating at maximum efficiency without showing strain, a careful balance that demonstrated humanity's mastery over technology. Ambassador Lena Ward communicated with the Council, relaying updates and observing reactions. Delegates were whispering in disbelief, their arrogance crumbling under the weight of real-time observation. Some admitted privately that humans had achieved what no other species could, while others refused to believe it, clinging to pride even as the evidence mounted. Hours passed in silent tension. The alien fleet attempted a coordinated approach, sending groups of ships forward in a formation designed to intimidate. Each time the Horizon adjusted its trajectory subtly, allowing them closer but never showing weakness. The scale of the ship became undeniable. The aliens could see its hull stretching for kilometers, its shields glowing faintly and engines that bent space in ways that defied comprehension. Crew members on board Horizon worked calmly, monitoring every detail, executing their roles with precision. Tactical simulations ran alongside live monitoring, allowing the crew to prepare for any scenario without panic. Captain Ross walked along the corridors, observing the humans. Each crew member carried out duties with focus, discipline, and calm determination. This unshakable composure was part of the strategy. The aliens were not just measuring power, they were measuring confidence, and humans were unmatched in that regard. The first minor engagement occurred when one of the alien scout ships miscalculated its approach and drifted too close. Horizon sensors detected the misalignment instantly. Tactical officers prepared the defense systems, but Captain Ross gave no order to fire. Instead, the Horizon activated a minor gravity distortion field, nudging the alien vessel back gently but unmistakably. The ship trembled, engines overcompensated, and the alien crew panicked momentarily before regaining control. Observers in the council chambers noted the subtle display. Some whispered fearfully while others argued over what they had witnessed. Lena Ward remained calm, knowing this demonstration was exactly what was intended. It was not destruction that taught respect, but controlled, overwhelming presence. The alien fleet continued to test the boundaries, sending small groups forward, then retreating. Each probe, each ship, met with calculated responses, minor adjustments, or subtle manipulations. Horizon systems allowed humans to control the encounter without ever appearing aggressive. Crew members became more confident with each interaction, knowing that their restraint was shaping the outcome far more effectively than an open attack would have. Captain Ross gathered his senior officers in the strategy room. Holographic displays showed alien fleet movements, energy outputs, and reaction patterns. "They are learning," Ross said. "Every approach, every probe teaches them caution. Our restraint is a weapon more powerful than any gun." Claire Monroe analyzed the holographic simulations. "They will hesitate to approach in full force now. Their confidence is eroding with every calculated move we make." Jason Brooks added, "And they will remember this encounter for generations. Even if we leave, the impression remains." The alien fleet attempted a feint, sending a small strike team of vessels to test human reactions. Horizon responded with minor navigational adjustments and shield calibrations, absorbing their presence without aggression. The aliens were frustrated. Every attempt to provoke a reaction failed. Panic began to ripple through their ranks, though they tried to hide it. Ambassador Ward watched the Council's live feed, Some delegates openly panicked, while others argued over how to respond. The Zorath stomped on the consoles, glaring at their fleets. "This cannot be," they shouted. "Humans are supposed to be insignificant." The reports continued streaming in, showing how humans maintained composure, control, and calculated patience. The alien commanders realized that they had underestimated not just technology, but strategy and discipline. Onboard Horizon, life continued in precise rhythm. Crew members ate, trained, and rotated duties without pause. Every member understood the magnitude of the situation, the importance of maintaining composure. The ship was alive in ways more profound than its technology. It was a demonstration of human efficiency, intelligence, and will. Hours later, a larger alien contingent advanced. Ships bristling with weapons approached in formations meant to intimidate. The humans on board Horizon adjusted their trajectory slightly, a gentle shift that caused alien calculations to fail. Their formations faltered, engines overloaded in their attempts to compensate. Confusion and fear began spreading. On the bridge, Claire Monroe smiled faintly. "They are beginning to hesitate. Their confidence is breaking." Captain Ross nodded. "Let them see us. Let them understand that humans are deliberate, powerful, and in control." Every pause, every adjustment, every calm movement reinforces their doubt. Jason Brooks added, "They will not recover quickly. Even after we leave, the memory will haunt them." Ambassador Ward relayed updates to the council. Delegates whispered, arguments erupted, and panic subtly spread. Some attempted to call for immediate engagement, but hesitation held them back. Fear was already taking root. The alien fleet tested new approaches, attempting to divide Horizon's attention. Multiple groups moved in different vectors simultaneously, a complex maneuver meant to overwhelm. Humans adjusted with calm precision, sensors predicting every move before it occurred. Tactical officers guided minor course corrections, engineers adjusted energy flows, and the bridge maintained steady communication. The aliens could not understand what they were observing. Their instruments failed to provide accurate readings. Their ships faltered as sensors conflicted and energy misalignments occurred. Crew members felt the tension, yet their confidence remained unshaken. Captain Ross addressed the bridge. "Every move is teaching them. Let them see what it means to misjudge humans. They cannot provoke us. They cannot predict us. That is our advantage." Claire monitored energy output. Even their leaders are unsure. Some are suggesting retreat, others still argue, but hesitation dominates their fleet now. Hours turned into cycles as Horizon continued its careful navigation through the alien formation. Crew members rotated, trained, and maintained systems. Their focus never wavered. The alien fleet, though numerous and armed, could not break the calm discipline of the humans. Observers in the council chambers whispered of the impossibility of it all. Humans had arrived, and they had demonstrated control and power without firing a shot. Ambassador Ward allowed herself a small smile. The strategy was working perfectly. The first full day of observation drew to a close, but tension remained high. Alien fleets were exhausted by uncertainty, their attempts to provoke responses continually failing. Every maneuver made humans stronger in the eyes of the galaxy. Captain Ross addressed his officers for a final briefing before night cycles. "They are learning. Fear and respect are growing. Tomorrow, we escalate slightly, just enough to demonstrate the difference between rumor and reality. We do not fire unless necessary, but they must feel the presence of humanity fully." Claire nodded, studying the simulations. Their calculations are failing. Even their best minds cannot predict our movements or energy flows. Their hesitation is growing, Jason Brooks added, and it will last. Even if we disengage tomorrow, the impression will remain for generations. The alien fleet remained cautious as night fell across the observation zones. The humans on Horizon rested in shifts, maintaining vigilance and preparing for the next stage of encounter. Outside, the ships drifted in silence, the calm presence of Horizon dominating the void. Ambassador Ward continued monitoring council reactions. Panic and confusion subtly spread, and respect, grudging but growing, began to take root among some delegates. The humans had achieved a first victory without firing a shot, simply by projecting strength, patience, and discipline. Captain Ross walked to the observation deck one last time before rest cycles. Stars stretched infinitely before him. The morning light of neutral space revealed more of the alien fleet than anyone had seen before. Horizon drifted steadily, its massive hull reflecting distant stars while sensors monitored every move of the approaching ships. Captain Daniel Ross stood on the observation deck, hands clasped behind his back, watching the aliens maneuver as if in a nervous dance. "Today," he said quietly, "they will learn that humans do not need to fire to command fear." Claire Monroe stood beside him, eyes scanning incoming energy signatures. "Their formations are becoming erratic," she said. "They are trying to find a weakness, but every attempt fails." Jason Brooks studied the holographic projections of the fleet. "Their calculations are off. Even with numbers in their favor, they cannot predict our moves. Fear is growing faster than they can control it." Ambassador Lena Ward monitored communications, relaying updates to the council. Delegates whispered frantically, their previous arrogance crumbling with every data feed. Some admitted privately that humans had far surpassed expectations, while others clung to disbelief, refusing to acknowledge the reality before them. The first real confrontation began with a small squadron of alien warships breaking formation. They advanced with weapons charged, energy beams flickering as though anticipating the human response. Tactical officers on Horizon analyzed the approach, predicting every move before it occurred. Captain Ross did not issue any firing commands. Instead, the Horizon adjusted its shields and engines subtly, creating gravitational and electromagnetic distortions that made alien weapons misfire and engines overcompensate. The alien squadron faltered, their formation breaking as panic spread across the ranks. Crew members on the bridge watched with calm efficiency. Claire Monroe smiled faintly as she monitored energy outputs. "They are learning too late," she said. "Every move we make teaches caution. Every pause reinforces fear." Jason Brooks added, "And every misstep they make will be remembered." "This is as much psychological as it is tactical." Ambassador Ward communicated with the council again. Her calm, measured words contrasted with the panic and uncertainty among the alien delegates. "Observe carefully," she said. "The humans do not strike without reason, yet they command respect through presence alone." Across the galaxy, alien commanders debated. Some urged immediate retreat, others demanded aggression, but none could agree. The presence of Horizon had destabilized centuries of arrogance and assumption. Back on Horizon, crew members rotated shifts, maintaining vigilance while performing drills and system checks. Engineers monitored energy flows, making subtle adjustments to shields and engines. Tactical officers prepared contingency simulations in real time, running through scenarios that might never occur, but ensured the crew was ready. Captain Ross walked along the corridors, observing his crew. Each member moved with precision, focus, and calm, understanding the magnitude of the moment. "Confidence and composure are our greatest weapons," he said quietly to Claire Monroe, who nodded. The alien fleet regrouped, attempting a larger formation to encircle Horizon. Their ships advanced slowly, weapons charged, engines straining to maintain precise positioning. The humans on board Horizon did not react aggressively, only adjusting position and energy fields. The subtle shifts caused alien calculations to fail, forcing some ships to correct mid-course, others to hesitate entirely. Panic and uncertainty spread silently among the alien crews. Ambassador Ward relayed updates to the council, whose delegates could not hide their growing fear. Some openly panicked, while others whispered warnings about humans' unpredictable capability. Lena Ward remained calm, knowing that fear without combat was the first true victory. Hours passed as the alien fleet tested multiple tactics. Probe ships attempted rapid approaches, only to be met with controlled resistance from the Horizon's energy fields. Larger ships tried intimidating maneuvers, only to be countered by gravitational and electromagnetic adjustments that confused sensors and caused minor malfunctions. Each interaction reinforced the power and control humans exerted without firing a single shot. Crew members on Horizon continued their rotations, eating, training, and monitoring systems. Every human knew the importance of composure. Every step, every adjustment, every calm observation taught the aliens a lesson they could not ignore. Captain Ross addressed the senior officers in the strategy room. "They are learning. Every approach, every failed calculation, every hesitation is proof of our presence. Remember, we do not strike first, but they will respect us nonetheless." Claire Monroe studied the tactical display. Their fleet is exhausted by uncertainty. They attempt maneuvers that fail repeatedly. Even their leaders are questioning their calculations. Jason Brooks added, And they will not forget this day. Even if we leave, the memory of Horizon will haunt their fleets. The first alien attack came not in weapons but in intimidation. A large warship moved rapidly, attempting to circle Horizon and project dominance. Sensors detected the trajectory immediately. Horizon responded with subtle energy manipulations, creating spatial distortions that caused the alien ship to overshoot its position and falter. Crew members watched as the alien vessel struggled to correct itself. It became clear that the humans were controlling the encounter without ever raising weapons. Ambassador Ward communicated to the Council. Delegates were shocked as they observed the alien fleet faltering without human aggression. Some whispered fearfully, others argued over what was happening, but panic spread subtly among all. Captain Ross called the bridge crew together briefly. "Every move teaches them," he said. "They will remember that humans are deliberate, precise, and unshakable. Let them learn before any battle begins." The alien fleet attempted a coordinated assault, sending multiple ships in different directions. Humans monitored every movement, adjusting shields, gravity fields, and energy flows in real time. Every approach failed. Alien ships miscalculated positions, engines strained, and weapons misfired. Panic spread among their ranks. Crew members on Horizon maintained calm. Engineers, tactical officers, and pilots executed their duties with precision, demonstrating human control over situations that aliens believed could not be countered. Ambassador Ward sent a final report to the Council before the next phase of engagement. Her calm, precise words contrasted sharply with the growing anxiety in the chambers. Some delegates openly panicked while others attempted to maintain composure. The truth was undeniable. Humans commanded respect through presence, discipline, and technology. As hours turned to cycles, alien fleets adjusted, attempted new tactics, and probed defenses. Each attempt reinforced the impression of human superiority. Crew members rotated shifts, rested briefly, and maintained vigilance. The Horizon remained a silent, massive presence in space, a demonstration of human ingenuity, strategy, and calm authority. The first full engagement had ended without destruction, yet the lesson was clear. Alien fleets had tested, failed, and learned caution. The Council's arrogance had been challenged without a single human firing a weapon. Captain Ross addressed his officers quietly. "Tomorrow we escalate slightly, enough to make them feel the full measure of human resolve. Every observation, every failed maneuver, and every hesitation teaches them more than any battle could. This is the first true step in changing the galaxy's understanding of us." Claire Monroe studied the tactical simulations. "Even if we disengage, their fleets will remember this day. Fear and respect are growing," Jason Brooks added, "and it will last. They will hesitate at the thought of humans for generations." Night cycles approached. Crew members rested in rotations, maintaining systems and performing training exercises. Horizon drifted silently, its massive presence dominating the void. Ambassador Ward monitored Council communications, observing fear and confusion spreading subtly. Some delegates whispered about humans' unpredictable capabilities, while others debated in disbelief. Captain Ross walked to the observation deck, looking out at the alien fleet. Stars stretched endlessly, but the alien ships, massive and imposing, were trembling before human presence. "Soon," he said softly, "they will understand fully. Soon they will learn the cost of underestimating humanity." And so, the first direct confrontation ended with no weapons fired, yet the lesson was unforgettable. Alien fleets were cautious, anxious, and hesitant. The Council was in subtle chaos. Humans aboard Horizon knew that every maneuver, every subtle adjustment, and every calm response had changed the galaxy's perception. The stage was set for the next phase, where humans would demonstrate full power, strategy, and determination, proving once and for all that they were not to be underestimated. Horizon remained a silent titan, carrying the crew who would teach the galaxy a lesson it would never forget. Every alien that observed, every delegate that argued, and every fleet commander that calculated would remember this day as the moment humanity revealed not just technology, but will, composure, and absolute command over their destiny. The morning in neutral space was tense but quiet. Horizon hovered like a giant sentinel, its massive hull reflecting distant stars, while alien fleets prepared cautiously around it. Captain Daniel Ross stood on the observation deck, hands behind his back, watching their movements. "Today," he said softly to Claire Monroe, who stood beside him, They will see humans are not just presence and patience, they are power and strategy combined. Claire nodded, her eyes scanning the sensor arrays. Every ship they move reveals their uncertainty. Their leaders do not know what to do. Jason Brooks leaned on the console. And every failed attempt strengthens our position. They will remember this forever. Ambassador Lena Ward monitored communications with the council. Delegates were restless, whispering, arguing, and trying to process the magnitude of what they were witnessing. Some admitted privately that humans had exceeded all expectations. Others refused to believe it, clinging to pride even as evidence stacked before them. Suddenly, a transmission from the largest alien commander appeared on secure channels. "We demand explanation," the voice thundered. "No species should be able to project such presence and control." "Are you bluffing? Do you intend attack?" Captain Ross did not respond immediately. Instead, he gestured to Claire Monroe. "Let them speak," he said. "They need to understand patience is a weapon." Claire transmitted back a calm, measured message. "We are here to observe, not attack. But understand this. Humans are deliberate, precise, and will respond when necessary. Misjudgment will cost more than any weapon can inflict." The alien commander's vessels shifted nervously, trying to maintain order among their crews. Engines strained as formations faltered, weapons misfired, and panic spread quietly. Crew members on horizon monitored every fluctuation. Tactical officers predicted movements. Engineers adjusted energy flows, and pilots prepared for any command, though none was needed yet. Captain Ross turned to Jason Brooks. "Today we demonstrate restraint and power together. Presence alone is enough, but when they test it, they will see humans in full measure." Hours passed as alien fleets attempted new maneuvers, sending probe ships and smaller squadrons forward. Every approach failed, every weapon misaligned, every formation disrupted subtly by Horizon systems. Crew members worked silently, maintaining calm and control, executing precision adjustments that made alien calculations useless. Claire Monroe studied the sensors. "They are exhausted by uncertainty. Even their best commanders hesitate." Jason Brooks nodded. "And their ships are faltering. Every move teaches them caution and fear." Ambassador Ward relayed reports to the council. Panic and confusion spread among delegates. Some whispered fearfully. Others argued over the impossible display of control. The Zorath stomped on consoles, shouting at their fleets. "This cannot be. Humans are too powerful for their size." "How is this possible?" The alien fleets tried a coordinated approach, sending multiple groups in different directions to encircle Horizon. Humans responded with subtle navigational adjustments and energy field manipulations. Every maneuver the aliens attempted was countered without firing a shot. Engines overheated, weapons misfired, and panic grew. Captain Ross addressed his officers. "Every interaction teaches them. Their failure to provoke is a lesson they will not forget. We do not strike first, but they will respect us nonetheless." Claire Monroe analyzed energy readings. Even their leaders are confused. Some argue for retreat, others for aggression, but hesitation dominates. Jason Brooks added, "This is what true control looks like: presence, patience, and precision." The first full-scale attempt at intimidation came when a large alien warship moved rapidly to close distance. Horizon detected the approach immediately. Tactical officers prepared shields and minor countermeasures, yet no weapons were fired. Instead, a subtle gravitational distortion nudged the alien ship off course, forcing it to overcompensate. Engines strained, and the crew panicked briefly before regaining control. Crew members on Horizon observed silently, noting the lesson taught. Ambassador Ward communicated updates to the council, whose delegates were in disbelief. Some panicked openly, others debated furiously, but fear was spreading. Humans had won the first true engagement without firing a weapon. Hours later, the alien fleet attempted multiple coordinated strikes, sending squadrons in every direction. Horizon adjusted with calm precision, maintaining energy balance and shield control. Every move by the aliens failed. Miscalculations caused faltering, misfiring, and hesitation. Fear spread among their ranks. Onboard Horizon, crew members rotated shifts, ate, trained, and maintained systems. Each person understood that history was being made. Discipline, composure, and calm were as important as any weapon. Captain Ross addressed the bridge. "They will remember this. Every hesitation, every misstep, every failed attempt teaches them the power of human resolve. Presence alone can command respect." Claire Monroe monitored energy fluctuations. Even their best strategists cannot predict our responses. Their fleet is unraveling psychologically, Jason Brooks added, and the memory will last. Even after we leave, they will think twice before challenging humans. As the day progressed, a larger alien warship approached directly. Sensors detected weapons charged and engines at maximum. Horizon responded with subtle adjustments that disrupted targeting systems, causing their weapons to misfire. Minor gravitational distortions forced their trajectory off course. The crew on the bridge remained calm, observing every reaction. Captain Ross walked among the officers. "Observe closely," he said. "They think they are in control, but every move they make shows fear. Humans do not panic. Humans teach fear by discipline." The alien ship faltered, engines straining, weapons misfiring. Crew members on Horizon noted the precise effect of each subtle adjustment. Ambassador Ward relayed information to the council. Panic spread quickly. Delegates whispered in disbelief, arguing over strategy, and some admitted privately that humans had far exceeded all expectations. The alien fleets regrouped, attempting another coordinated attack. Horizon adjusted shields, engines, and gravitational fields with perfect timing. Every approach failed. Ships misaligned, weapons misfired, and panic grew silently among the alien crews. Crew members on Horizon maintained calm efficiency, reinforcing the impression of unmatched human discipline and control. Captain Ross addressed senior officers. "This is our demonstration. Restraint with precision, presence with power. They will remember this day forever." Claire Monroe analyzed simulations. "Even if we leave, the lesson is clear. Fear and respect are ingrained now." Jason Brooks added, "And it will linger. Every alien that witnessed this will understand human capability for generations." As cycles passed, alien fleets attempted every tactic known to them. Horizon countered without aggression, subtly, efficiently, and precisely. Crew members rotated, maintained vigilance, and prepared for any escalation. The ship remained a silent titan, dominating the void. The council observed live feeds. Panic, confusion, and awe spread among delegates. Some whispered of humans' unpredictable capability. Others debated the impossible. Lena Ward remained calm, knowing that humans had won not by weapons but by presence and control. Captain Ross walked to the observation deck, looking out at the alien fleet. Massive ships moved hesitantly, engines straining, weapons failing to align. "Soon," he said quietly, "they will understand fully. Soon they will feel the weight of human resolve." And then the final demonstration began. Horizon activated a controlled sequence, minor but unmistakable, showing power without full engagement. Energy fields flared, shields rippled, and the alien fleet staggered, unable to comprehend the precision and scale of the systems. Crew members monitored sensors, ready to respond to any actual aggression, though none was needed. The aliens panicked, their formations faltering, engines straining, and weapons failing. The council erupted in whispers, shock, and subtle fear. Humans had won the ultimate demonstration. Captain Ross addressed the bridge. "This is the final lesson. They will not forget it. Discipline, composure, and presence can command more respect than 1,000 weapons. Humanity is here, and the galaxy will remember it." Claire Monroe watched the alien fleet. "Every commander will recount this day. Every fleet will hesitate in the future," Jason Brooks added. "And that hesitation is our advantage. They will never underestimate humans again." As neutral space quieted, the Horizon remained steady, a silent titan. Crew members rested in rotations, maintaining systems, but the impact of the day resonated. Alien fleets were cautious, anxious, and hesitant. The council struggled to comprehend human capability. Presence, precision, and discipline had won without destruction. Captain Ross looked out at the stars. "The galaxy has learned what it means to misjudge humans. They will remember this day forever." Ambassador Ward communicated one last report to the council, summarizing the encounter. Calm, precise, and measured words contrasted with the chaos, confusion, and fear among delegates. The lesson was clear. Humans commanded respect, presence, and fear with nothing more than discipline, strategy, and will. Horizon drifted silently, massive, unshakable, and victorious without firing a single weapon. Crew members knew they had changed the galaxy forever,